Greetings and welcome back. Today, we're revealing 11 psychological brace yourself with these truths about women that will fundamentally alter your perspective on the world. As 97% of men are unaware of these secrets and frequently encounter rejection, but you can actually become one of the 5% who stand out by ladies. You should be aware of these facts. They are not only for men. Before we begin, could you share some facts about yourself that will make you captivating and irresistible? If you're eager to learn these secrets, please do me a favor and slam that like button, which enables us to provide you with more potent Stoic knowledge. If you haven't, just hit the bell and subscribe button to ensure you never miss our most recent videos. Let's keep this entertaining. If you think we can make this topic better, please leave a comment. Enter Zed and let us know how to proceed. Let's now dive into these amazing revelations that will change the way you think about women and relationships. The first psychological fact is that women fall in love due to fragrance. One study found that if a woman likes a man's perfume, according to the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, they are more inclined to fall for him, that she feels 85.5% higher compassion for him. Women have 50% more neurons in larger olfactory bulb compared to men, which makes them more perceptive and capable of selecting the correct scent, greatly increases your appeal, and keeps you there until the find out which scents best arouse the senses at the end of the video. Psychological fact number 2. Women favor guys who are independent, go too far, or are excessively. Being pushy with a lady would almost surely result in her rejection. Yet, if you respect her and exhibit a touch of neediness or weakness, she'll be more inclined to make it herself. Therefore, establishing trust is essential, and it's crucial to constantly read her body language and identify the cues or motions she uses to convey psychological facts. Number 3. When a lady is close to you, she frequently feels something, although she might not show it. One survey found that 68% of people avoid becoming her buddy right away. Women stated that they would think about having a romantic relationship with a male if they thought they could achieve what they wanted, which is why it's crucial to gently express your liking for her right away. If you're unsure, leave a question in the comments section. And the fourth psychological reality I'll share with you is that women are drawn to guys who have already been chosen. A process called pre-election shows that when women express interest in a man, he becomes 3 times more attractive. Happens when a bunch of ladies surrounds a man. Thus, I advise going out with female pals will alter how other women view them. It's not necessary for these female pals to have romantic feelings for you. The priest selection effect can be produced by presence alone, which might pique other women's curiosity and make it. The fifth psychological fact is that it's easier for you to connect with the woman you like. When a woman teases you or makes you fun remarks, it shows that she is interested. Nicknames, which are frequently an indication that she is interested in you and is utilizing, playful women frequently use their bodies to express their interests in order to gain trust. Language and taunting. I suggest playing if you're sincere about her. You may remark something like, "I know you call me that," in response to her fun spirit. Do you think I haven't observed psychological fact number 6? That women like guys who like them. Women value it when you can read their body language, whether intentionally or unconsciously. Unaware because, in contrast to women, not all males are able to read these subtle indications. Frequently timid and reluctant to publicly express their emotions because of fear rejection, because girls don't usually anticipate men rejecting them. Thus, they talk to their attention through non-verbal cues. If a woman purposefully gestures to express her emotions, if you don't, she might not get the message she wants. If you want to know more about this intriguing topic, be quiet and move on. Ask me about psychological fact number 7 in the comments section of the Psychological Oracle Strategy. Women are especially self-conscious about how they look in private. They concentrate on keeping themselves looking beautiful, right down to the style and hue of their undergarments. Their attire, rather than being silent, acknowledge her beauty. You may see that she is gaining confidence in this way by looking at her during these occasions. Will motivate her to dress more stylishly for you, increasing her anticipation of seeing you again. The 8th psychological reality is that when a man emotionally connects with a woman, she feels more emotions and comprehends the intricacy of a woman's mind. Women are less physically fit during sexual activities, but her thinking can increase her happiness. More motivated than men and depend more on emotional and mental stimulation rather than trying to connect with her through subtle communication instead of being straightforward, anything tangible. Take your time and encourage her to communicate her feelings and demonstrate to her that you genuinely get her. This closer bond will increase her affection for you, but because it's a sensitive process, ladies should exercise caution. Psychological fact number 9. Some women have a deeper emotional bond with their friends than with their partners, and they frequently love them more than their partners. Research indicates that when women leave their partners at home to spend more time with their best friends than with their boyfriends, when they see their friends, they feel more emotional since they know they won't be judged, and that they will receive emotional support, which is sometimes confused with love. Since emotional betrayal can happen, it's essential to keep your partner and her close pals apart. The 10th surprising psychological reality is that some women accept dates for free. American polls show that 38% of women have acknowledged accepting dates in return for food, which demonstrates the complexity of the reasons why a woman could consent to a date before. Make sure the person you're asking out is truly interested in you. If you're wondering how to determine if a girl likes you, leave a comment below and I'll give you extra advice at the end of the video. The 11th psychological fact is that women would rather be approached while they are upset. Paying them will make a woman feel better if she is upset or frustrated. You can better comprehend why she's upset if you pay attention to her and demonstrate empathy. Though they are born with an intrinsic skill, women can occasionally be challenging to read. They lack the emotional stability that males do, making it difficult for them to experience deep emotions. And their feelings, both good and bad, can be. It's interesting to note that some women are attracted to men who treat them badly. I'll describe this dynamic, since these emotional highs and lows excite them, more thoroughly later, but for now, become acquainted with the emotional. Given the first psychological feature that was described, games that women frequently play. In order to demonstrate how scents can arouse women, we offer a variety of widely used fragrant. In a 2017 study, Essences examined how lavender and jasmine affected two groups of. Each woman spent time with two guys, one of whom was wearing a perfume devoid of these scents, while the other is wearing a fragrance based on jasmine. Women's attraction in men was greatly heightened by jasmine smells, which are featured in well-known fragrances like Par Basque Eclectic and the well-known French Orphan. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you plan to watch the entire video. Comment on the contradictory tales that underlie each. Every grin has a backstory, but can you tell if it's a mask or something real? People whose stories shift regularly should be avoided because their distant narratives typically show a facade that people find it difficult to keep up. Like chameleons, these people adapt their stories to fit the audience or circumstance over time. Their stories may change significantly as they either forget specifics of their fabrications or find other narratives that better suit their objectives. Inconsistency is frequently a purposeful tactic used to influence or impress others. It is not an accident. Inconsistent narratives reveal a lack of sincerity among actual persons, with minor details may be forgotten by experiences, but their life narratives never change. On the other hand, dishonest people frequently become entangled in their own lies. Unable to monitor their deception, this behavior can harm both personal and professional connections, since trust is damaged when someone is perceived as consistently telling falsehoods in work environments. Fosters a toxic setting where superiors cannot make decisions and co-workers cannot rely on one another. Making wise choices necessitates paying close attention to what they say in order to identify such individuals. Patterns of irregular behavior will gradually surface over time, and although being vigilant isn't the same as being paranoid, it's necessary to guard against manipulation or deceit. When in doubt, ask for clarification. Frequently, someone will give a fake narrative will find it difficult to keep up the surface-level facade under investigation. False connections frequently favor associations with more breadth than depth. In their interactions, true compassion and respect for one another are less important than what others may offer. Though they may be aware, real partnerships are rarely formed through superficial encounters. Many people's relationships are founded on superficial interactions like name-calling and professional titles. They avoid in-depth discussions because they lack a deeper emotional connection. Discussions regarding personal challenges, aspirations, or hopes are self-centered. Interactions are only made to further one's career, social standing, or other advantages. Scammers frequently move between social circles in search of the most beneficial associations. In doing so, they fail to recognize the actual worth of deep, lasting connections that can offer solace during trying times, and those who associate with dishonest people frequently experience happiness in successful ones. Utilized and undervalued, resulting in a solitary life devoid of true friendship. To spot superficiality, look at trends in how. When people talk about their relationships, do they solely address what other people can do for them, or do they swap topics frequently? Excessive flattery in social circles is often concerning, particularly because it might conceal information or foster a false sense of trust in professional contexts. Relationships may be seen as solely transactional by those with genuine motives. Instead of reciprocating, and frequently use flattery to win favor or divert attention. From their inability or lack of dedication, as opposed to sincere acknowledgements, are sincere, precise, and concentrated on real achievements or attributes. They are offered without any expectation. Being able to tell the difference between flattery and genuine appreciation is vital in spotting those who might be attempting to deceive. Another characteristic of dishonest people is their lack of empathy. Having a hollow heart makes it unable to empathize with others who lack. Empathy frequently shows disregard for other people's needs and feelings, concentrating only on own wants and objectives. This emotional distance is a serious warning sign in both personal and issues with empathy and praising others in professional relationships. Those who are successful but lack empathy may disregard the mental health of those around them or, in more severe situations, neglect to offer assistance. This lack of empathy can result in destructive or manipulative actions, since these people ignore the effects of their behavior on other people. This characteristic is especially detrimental in both personal and professional contexts. One-sided relationships may hinder the development of profoundly meaningful connections. Outcome where one person's needs and feelings are consistently disregarded or underappreciated at work. A lack of empathy can make the atmosphere unfriendly, where co-workers see a lack of appreciation and miscommunication. To be empathetic, one must observe how others respond in different contexts and whether they exhibit sincere, Can people celebrate others' accomplishments without making it about their own feelings when others are angry or distressed? When responding to these questions, do they themselves show tolerance and understanding during trying times? Asking questions can help you find out whether someone lacks empathy, which is an essential part of good threads of manipulative behavior for relationships are not for puppets. Human imposters usually take advantage of others for their own benefit. This deceptive behavior ignores the feelings and welfare of people around them. Behavior is an intentional tactic used to manipulate or persuade people to fulfill their own objectives, and it can take a variety of ways, ranging from delicate emotional manipulation to direct exploitation. Like this is essentially self-centered and shows a total lack of respect for the autonomy of others. Manipulators frequently possess a profound comprehension of human psychology, which they utilize to their benefit by using. This manipulation is especially risky when it involves guilt, charm, coercion, or deceit, because victims frequently go unreported until serious harm has been done. Might experience confusion, guilt, or even blame for the manipulator's manipulation can produce toxic dynamics in relationships, which can result in a loss of self-worth and individual autonomy in identifying and dealing with manipulative. The maintenance of healthy, courteous behavior is crucial in both personal and professional contexts. Relationships, by being aware of these strategies and taking preventative action to lessen the detrimental impact of manipulate and cultivate relationships founded on sincerity and respect for one another. The fakes get going with their co-workers or buddies at fair weather are people who only appear when things are going well and vanish when things get tough. It is evident that this trend of frequent absences at trying times. These people are quick to celebrate success, ESS, which is a sign of unreliability, yet are glaringly missing when their assistance is actually required. The damage this does. Not only does their absence occur during difficult times, but it also creates a false sense of dependability, or lack thereof can cause friends, family, and co-workers to feel abandoned, and feelings of betrayal and loneliness can result from partnerships when people are not supported. However, in work environments, it might interfere with team dynamics and impede efforts to discover these people. Needs close monitoring throughout time in order to identify who is still devoted and trustworthy amid trying times, as genuine dependability is shown in hardship as opposed to ease broken a castle constructed on sand promises. False individuals frequently make promises, yet seldom fulfill commitments, and this propensity to do so demonstrates a lack of honesty and reliability. In essence, making a promise and then violating it shows disdain for both the recipient and oneself. Damages relationships, whether personal or professional, and erodes trust. Disappointment results from professional commitments breached, and when this behavior becomes persistent, it leads to a decline in respect and credibility in personal relationships, which may result in mental anguish and foster an environment of, in professional contexts, uncertainty and uneasiness damage one's reputation and can compromise professional prospects. When working with individuals who have a tendency to violate commitments, it is crucial to build establishing limits and explicit expectations, making people responsible for their promises, and shielding oneself from the it's also critical to consider the possible drawbacks of unreliability, which frequently entails minimizing reliance on their overzealous self-promotion, and promises of a spotlight that never dims. False persons are frequently egotistical and incessantly looking for attention in order to incline to overstate their accomplishments, and this excessive self-promotion is a result of a strong desire. These people frequently manipulate circumstances to maintain the status quo in order to gain approval and praise. Concentrate on themselves while disregarding the accomplishments or contributions of some people desire admiration, while others value it more than confidence. Instead of exhibiting true self-assurance or a strong sense of self, they frequently exhibit an exaggerated feeling of significance and feel they should always be acknowledged and commended. For this disruptive behavior can occur in both personal and professional contexts, and maintaining balance in personal interactions may be inadequate if the wants and achievements of one individual continuously trump those of everyone else. In the excessive self-promotion at work can poison the atmosphere and undermine cooperation and coordination when one person tries to stand out at all expenses. It takes great focus to identify excessive self-promotion. How can people constantly dominate while discussing themselves and their accomplishments? Do they embellish or make up facts in conversations to make these patterns seem more important or successful? May be a sign of inauthentic trusting and borderline self-promotional behavior. Having faith in your instincts is a useful method for identifying. Often, our instincts detect inauthenticity before our brains do. Explain it. Inconsistencies and subtle clues could cause an intuitive, even when our conscious mind makes an effort to deny or explain them. It's critical to keep in mind that instincts are not always accurate due to biases, and prior experiences can affect them, so even if it's a good idea to trust your instincts, they must be coupled with observation and logical reasoning. If you have a gut feeling that someone is not telling the truth, take action. Return and impartially examine their behavior, searching for trends and proof that unreliable instincts might either confirm or refute your initial intuition. Mislead us, particularly in intricate social contexts, when our prejudices and preconceptions are important in the process of becoming self-aware and understanding. These prejudices helps improve and strengthen your capacity to trust your. In summary, intuition are a helpful tool for figuring out the genuineness of those around us, but they must to be utilized in conjunction with cautious consideration, and by making this remark, we are able to have a more accurate and sophisticated comprehension of those we engage with, which enables us to create authentic, meaningful relationships. It's essential to comprehend inauthenticity as we traverse the real connections, necessitate awareness of the intricacies of human relationships and knowledge, and we've looked at important traits that show the real character of those around us, ranging from inconsistent narratives to untrustworthy promises made by each sign, acts as a landmark along the way. But the search is far from over. Our channel is devoted to assisting you in comprehending human behavior, and Connections join a group that emphasizes authenticity and personal growth. Living by subscribing. If these ideas were useful to you, kindly like and subscribe for more insightful material. Leave a comment about your experiences and ideas. Below, your tale may serve as a lighthouse to help others find clarity. Let's get to work. Together to create a more genuine world, keep in mind that your instincts are your compass, and your desire to every click, share and subscribe aids in learning, which is the secret to successful relationships. Us expand our audience and disseminate information that could transform lives while overcoming hardship with. Sadly, sadism and envy are prevalent traits that might inhibit resilience. Personal development in a variety of contexts, such as social circles at work and even families. Hence, learning to hide your flaws can make you. The trunk of a tree stays sturdy throughout a storm, but the leaves. This picture of flutter and swaying branches symbolizes silent resilience that we'll talk about, how proving that you are immune to both internal and external influences might help you become even more powerful. Every obstacle is a chance to grow like the tree, not by ignoring it. the storm, but by refusing to let the wind or rain to depress you, you will. In this video, we'll teach you how to control your fate while staying composed and strong. Examine the 17 Stoic precepts of the famous philosopher Epicurus, whom I also recommend you to accept self-awareness, where real strength originates from the path's subtle illumination rather than the focus on the content, rather than the daily sounds of thunder in the upcoming minutes. The first guideline is to prepare to fail, because the only way to advance is to, according to Epictetus, doing the impossible and being called a fool is not anything to shun, but rather a chance for development. It enables you to grow professionally. Conquering obstacles requires a protracted process of trial and error rather than an instinctive response. Refine our route to excellence by working consistently. The second rule is to keep in mind this guideline does not promote pessimism. Rather, it serves as a reminder that death is inevitable. Given that death is the ultimate goal of everything we do, we might think twice before investing years of our meager life money in something that won't be able to travel with us. Adopting this viewpoint enables us to perceive setbacks and use our time more effectively. A more practical interpretation of the third rule is to listen twice as you say, there's a reason why nature gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. This design urges us to listen more than we talk, whereas Epicurus says we shouldn't fall in love with our own voices, but instead learn from others' sounds and start earning more money today. The fourth guideline is to pay more attention to what people around you are saying and less attention to what you are saying. Anticipating adverse events and being ready for the worst might result in severe anxiety. We worry about a number of possible issues, whether they are connected to our kids or not. Epictetus suggests a sudden change in jobs, relationships, or income. But useful strategy: think of everything you're scared about as having already occurred. This way of thinking helps lessen fear by confronting the worst-case situations head-on with the fifth rule, coping mechanisms. As you proceed, always mindful of the dangers posed by fortune. Seeking riches frequently entails the risk of drawing in others who could use our good fortune, which poses a threat to our fortune. Is not just from outside sources, but also internally. Create plans to manage these difficulties while maintaining a positive attitude, while navigating difficulties in accepting Stoicism, shame, and the sixth rule states that shame can infect our spirits like a plague. It is associated with narrow-mindedness. Common people frequently blame themselves or others, while the wise examine everything from a wider angle. This is how contemporary therapists perceive guilt. As a sensation to be eliminated from our existence, the secret to conquering guilt is to avoid interacting with it, since giving into it frequently results in assigning blame to avoiding accountability for fixing ourselves or others. Only those who are resolute can escape responsibility for their blunders. Taking accountability for their deeds, real wealth, and, according to the seventh rule, contentment is the foundation of true riches. Spirit Epicurus used Stoicism to define happiness, stressing that a wise person enjoys what they have rather than dwelling on their shortcomings. Considering what is lacking simply causes us to feel burdened and keeps us from focusing on thankfulness and enjoying our achievements. We discover genuine contentment beyond monetary possessions because of what we have accomplished. Possesses humility in order to learn the eighth guideline, which is to develop humility. To Epictetus urges us to acknowledge that in order to properly learn, one must practice humility every day. Our ignorance and approach education with a childlike sense of wonder and curiosity. Being arrogant about our expertise keeps us from embracing true insight. Being humble enables us to develop and learn more skillfully. Responses and the ninth guideline of fate is to keep in mind that your activities dictate your destiny, while, although we have no influence over outside events, we do have control over how we react to them. We may experience misfortune, but how we handle it defines our development and level of achievement. Less important than how we respond to it, creating good alliances. The 10th guideline is to associate with constructive people only. Since we naturally steer clear of other people's illness, we should similarly be wary of negative. The Epictetus suggests that we surround ourselves with positive, inspiring people. This decision affects our general well-being and mental health throughout our life. Putting a lot of money into simplicity is the 11th rule. While money and luxury are alluring, simplicity frequently comes with stress, and simply said, maintenance living eases the burden of financial obligations and promotes inner happiness and prosperity. Demands ongoing work, yet living simply can yield more, calmly carrying out tasks with diligence. The 12th rule is to always carry out your responsibilities as the sun rises every day. We don't require accolades. Accomplish our obligations without waiting for approval. Our labor is vital to us and others, and carrying it out with diligence is our moral obligation. The 13th guideline is to resist letting go of uncontrollable factors. Worrying about things that are out of your control allows you to control your thoughts, but not your reputation or success outside of it. Epictetus suggests concentrating because fretting about uncontrollable circumstances is a waste of time. On principles that we can influence and letting fate take care of the rest while disregarding hatred. In critique, the 14th rule is to disregard those who hate you instead than those who criticize you because they know that you are. Don't waste your time on things that are more important and powerful than their negativity. Instead, put aside your animosity or bitterness and keep your attention on accepting Stoic knowledge for a tough life and disregarding negativity are what really count. The 14th guideline is to disregard the negativity of people who hate you. Does not merit a place in your mind. We shouldn't be afraid of people who want to hurt us. Us, as their attempts to acquire immunity to such influences, are just noise that we can choose to ignore. Increases our ability to bounce back and derive value from the 15th rule of adversity is to always find the positive side of any situation. Epictetus asserts that it is our responsibility to seize the chances that adversity presents, such as if, when you learn that you will be fired, take advantage of the opportunity to pursue it instead of giving up. Your entrepreneurial dream, by looking for the good in every circumstance, you'll gain momentum that helps you move forward. In the 16th rule of life is to acknowledge that you have power over your reactions. Anyone who can incite rage gains control over your life if you allow their ideas and attitudes to bother you. In you becomes your master, yet we have numerous keys within of us, only if you allow them. Some of us lead to happiness, while others cause us to emotionally collapse. Control creates a wall that protects you from the harmful effects of other people. An individual is accountable for their own words and deeds, emphasizing sincere. The 17th rule states that friendships are more valuable than material possessions, since they foster sincere relationships and provide support when tangible fortunes fall. True friends are a type of wealth. Relationships you establish are an important long-term investment that will enhance your applying Stoic ideals in our daily lives, helps us. Epictetus's timeless wisdom helps us navigate life's obstacles with grace and purpose, provides priceless guidance for living a robust and fulfilling life. I hope this examination of his guidelines has been enlightening. If you have any thoughts, please share which rule most resonated with you. If you have any personal stories or ideas to contribute, please leave a comment below. If you're new to the channel, please read them all and hit like and subscribe. Please remember to hit to help us grow and to obtain more insightful information. The alert bell to be informed. Thank you for seeing, and don't forget to use these guidelines every day for a more gratifying and robust journey.